work. Over 13,000 people in the UK have stoma surgery each year, with over 100,000 people currently living with colostomy, urostomy or ileostomy bags.
But how often do we really hear about people talking about it? Well, 3 people who are desperate to remove the stigma attached to living with a stoma are Sam Cleasby, who writes a blog about life with her ileostomy bag, and one of the UK's leading colorectal surgeons, Ian Daniels, and Judi Spires, who, along with her husband Rick, has invented something which they hope will improve the lives of those living with stomas. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for coming and actually talking very, very openly about this. Judi, I want to start with you first of all, because you and your husband Rick invented something, and this sort of came out of desperation and necessity, because there's nothing like it out there.
Absolutely. When Richard had his ileostomy, he came out of hospital and thought, I will take my stoma bag off, I will get in the shower and I'll clean all around it, and that'll be lovely. That's when he discovered that the stoma had a life of its own, in that it can drain when you least expect it. So he was left with waste in the shower, not the clean experience he expected. So he came out of that. It was really, really, really upset about this and thought, oh, this is dreadful. How can I go and stay with people? You always clean up after yourself, but what's going to happen?
And he's a very active guy.
He's a very active guy. So he looked on the website. We couldn't find anything. We saw people with bags, carrier bags, with towels. So we sat down one night and thought, right, we need some kind of bag that sits underneath the stoma that collects all the waste. So I was looking up at the curtain and I said, oh, there's a nice bit of swish track there, a bit of curtain track. So between us, we knocked off this Heath Robertson kind of affair of track, gaffer tape, thank you all gaffers, gaffer tape, clothes pegs and a carrier bag. And he tied it around him with a belt, tried it out, came out of the bathroom and said, it's amazing. I can stand up, I can clean, all the waste can go into the bag, all the cloths I've been using, I can then, if I've got a liner inside, screw it up and it's disposable. Then he thought to himself, well, I like to go on Dartmoor. On Dartmoor, he'd find himself kneeling down and emptying the bag. That was taking the bag off, but you've got to empty the bag 5, 6, 7 times a day.
I didn't realise how difficult and complicated it was.
Or that you were expected when you emptied prior to this. It's only obviously, unless you know someone or it's a part of your life, you know, you don't look at these areas, and that you would be in the past expected to, if you were in a public loo, kneel down on a dirty public toilet floor and change it over the loo.
How many times do you find a toilet that hasn't even got a seat on it? So you sit on a toilet and you've got to do all that, and the mess gets everywhere. With this, the bag, you've got your sanitizer, even if there's no toilet. You can do it in a changing room. If you're in a tent, you could use it in a tent if you went to Glastonbury.
So, Sam, you write this blog, a very humorous, very informative blog, you know, taking the stigma out of stoma.
Yes.
And you've tried it?
Yes, yeah.
And?
When I first got it, I wasn't sure that there was a problem that needed to be fixed, because, like you say, you just get used to it. You get on with what you need to do. And then I tried it, and it's a great product. And I think a lot of things that are on the market now come from a very medical place, whereas this comes from a lifestyle place. It comes from somebody who's got a stoma, knows what it's like. Yeah, it's a great product.
And it did make it easier for you?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
We're not very good about talking this sort of things, are we? We're just not. It's not a sexy area of medicine, is it, that people are like, look what we can do, heart surgery. We're talking about bowels, we're talking about poo, we're talking about things like that. People don't like to discuss these things.
They don't. And that's why I started the blog. About 3 years ago, I ended up having surgery because I had ulcerative colitis. And I Googled and I searched online and I couldn't really find anything. I found a lot of things that were medical based, but I wanted to hear from a real person. And I couldn't find that, and so that's why I started my blog, So Badass.
And it is a life-changing but very copable with situation.
Absolutely.
And you, as I said at the beginning, you've approached it with a sense of humour. I
think you have to. It's a very difficult thing to talk about. There's a huge taboo around it. Thank you. Thank you. And I just wanted to get out there and get talking about it. It's really helped me deal with my journey.
And this is April is Bowel Awareness Month, and it is essential that we think about that part of our body.
Well, indeed. I mean, traditionally we're British. We don't discuss these things. It's humour. But, you know, in most hospitals, the largest departments of surgery are the departments that deal with bowel disease. And it's about getting it out there to the public. It's about raising awareness, not being afraid to come and see us, talking about it. This problem that Sam and many others have, they want to live normal lives with it. They want to live independently. It's not something that's visual, but it affects stomas about 120, 130,000 people in the UK.
And so how come something like this hasn't existed in the past? Is it just an area that's not looked at?
Well, traditionally, we never discussed these things. I know grandparents, etc. They lived lives perhaps at home, less going out. Social media has done enormous things for this.
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter, etc. You know, we've recently seen a large number of people putting their images out there saying, look, I'm not afraid to be seen with my stoma appliance. I want to live normally. Let me live normally. And designed by people that live with the appliances is far better than anything I can do.
Put it back in, sorry, it puts you back in charge of
Yes.
your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can now decide. You're not at the mercy of, oh, my God, you know, where's the toilet, where's the toilet? You've had the stoma and you have appliances like this which give you the privacy and the discretion that you need.
When it comes to bowel disease, because some of the symptoms people may find embarrassing to talk about, they may not be going to their doctors when they absolutely should be. What are those key symptoms?
So the key symptoms essentially are if your bowel habit has changed. Now, that's not just over 1 or 2 days because you've eaten something different. This is over a couple of weeks. And particularly the key symptom that we really want to see is people that see blood.
Yeah.
If you're seeing blood from your bottom, that is not normal. You may put it down to your piles, but you may be hiding something underneath there. Don't be afraid to come and see people like me. I look at hundreds of bottoms every week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to recognise you in the high street.
Yes, and not going to be shocked by anything.
No, I'm not. You know, what goes on in that consulting room is very professional. It's about, we get people pouring their heart out about the symptoms they've got, the limitations of their lives. We're here to try and help.
Some of the symptoms can be quite subtle, can't they?
Oh, indeed. And that's where it's about talking about these things. I don't feel so hungry. I'm feeling a bit full up. I'm going to the toilet a bit more frequently. It's not the normal sort of stuff you discuss over the dinner table. I've seen a little bit of blood when I wipe my bottom. Maybe that's time for you to go and get seen. Get it out there. Do not be afraid. Do not be embarrassed.
Don't leave it today. If there are any of those symptoms you're recognising in yourself at home, make an appointment. Go see your GP.
And for Rick, this has
It's changed his life. It's changed. We didn't go out for years before the stoma, and now we're comfortable to travel on the train, in a plane, on a boat. He goes camping on Dartmoor overnight. He's no longer discharging over a rock or kneeling down in the mud. This comes out, all tie-upable, all disposable. That's his Riksack.
And as you were saying, because you of all people are great approaching these sort of things with a sense of humour, that you keep your pegs in it.
Oh, yes. I didn't know you were going to say that. Yeah, keep your clothes pegs in. I've got a spare one. I've got a spare one if you want it.
Perhaps I can say that the key here is not being afraid to live with your disease.
Yeah.
It's about accepting your disease. Medicine has ended for you. It's about getting on with your life.
Absolutely.
And it's the people that have got the problems that work out the solutions, not people like me.
We'll put the details of your blog on our website.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
anyone who wants a little bit of information,
Thanks.
maybe a kind word,
Yes.
then we'll point them towards you.
Thank
Brilliant.
you,
very
all
much.
of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much.